Are neck exercises necessary, or will your neck proportionally develop?
The three of us yesterday were like, man, Kenny's neck is getting so thin.
Yeah.
It's just weird. We brought it up yesterday.
What do you tell someone who always cramps up during workouts even though they hydrate?
A cramp is not a bad thing.
I have 2 boys under the age of 2. I found if I push training too much, I've got no energy for my kids.
Just try to exercise when they're sleeping.
What are some ways to get more food in you when you're full from consuming high protein meals? You guys know how to eat. Let's go, fatties. Let's go.
I would blend chicken, or I would do a steak shake. You can do so much that's easy to get down.
What are you guys doing,
Give us
calves?
some calf races.
Calf Hall of Fame. I'm getting the pump. I took Cialis before this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how his job. Well, how often are you chewing gum?
He does chew gum quite a bit.
Yeah. It's only on this side, though.
You got to balance them.
You can kind of see it.
You can't see it. Let me see. Look, just look at me. Look straight at me.
Can you play the
You
guitar?
can't see it.
Can you play the guitar?
No.
You trying to see how like high his hotness meter goes?
Can you sing?
I could try.
No. No, I'm just thinking like Kenny Williams. Like it's this dope fucking country singer.
It's a hell of a name.
Actually, okay, the other day I was thinking of, should I?
Switching careers?
Nope. Stuff I could do in prep that'll keep me off, just occupied mentally. And
I went to a lot of movies when I was in prep.
Yeah. Well, I actually thought about playing an instrument. I was like, maybe I should learn how to play an instrument that kind of be hot, kind of increase my worth, my hotness as a man. But I don't know.
Have you ever tried to play any instrument?
No, never.
Starting from ground zero. Maybe that's a good thing though. Maybe no bad habits.
Yeah, I'm thinking if I just get a massive delt pump and I'm playing the guitar, I haven't seen anybody do that.
I got an extra guitar I don't use if you want it.
I would love to.
Okay.
My grandpa plays guitar.
Would you try to like fake it and like figure it out online, or would you go to like actual like person?
No, I would try to go to a person.
I know Ryan Soper has been exploring that for a little while. I think he's still messing with it.
Ryan Soper.
And there's a young man by the name of Jake Bell that comes in here that knows how to play the guitar pretty well.
Jake Bell is a great man.
He might keep that secret from you though. I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't tell me.
He's a little
about
shy
that.
about it.
Yeah.
But he's good, and he's got a bunch of different guitars in his room. He's always jamming on something.
That's amazing. He's getting jacked too.
He's getting in shape. He's taking it more serious, getting a little more intense in the gym.
That's dope.
Yeah, him and Owen. Owen Films. And Wyatt Films.
Wyatt Films making a comeback.
Where'd the films thing come from, dude?
That's just
Like,
what
why'd
it
you start
always
calling
is.
them Wyatt Films? Are we live yet?
No, not yet. We can be.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my bad.
No,
Going
sorry.
live.
I started calling him Wyatt Films because of
Lachlan, right?
Lachlan.
Yeah, my
Lachlan calls me Kenny Williams, and then he calls Wyatt Films, so I'm just used to it.
The Starretts always call me Mark Bell.
Yeah. Yeah.
They address me as Mark Bell every time. It's a little weird.
Yep.
Because it's like, Mark Bell, what are you doing today? Mark Bell, we're coming onto your podcast. I'm like, that's weird. Using my full name, but okay.
Yeah,
I guess that is my name.
Yeah, Lachlan always makes me feel famous. He comes in the warehouse or wherever I'm at, and he'll just come shake my hand and be like, Kenny Williams.
That's
I
cool.
respect it. Yeah.
Yeah. When I brought my daughter in, I think it was you, I think a guest, and then Wyatt. Like everybody, just like everyone was just being nice, and they all kind of like came up and said hello to my wife and my daughter, and then afterwards, Stephanie, my wife, was like, "Hey, what'd you think about all those guys?" And she remembered Kenny. She's like, "Those guys are big."
Yeah.
I was like, sick.
I'll take it.
Kenny making everybody else look big.
Right? Yeah.
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 On the topic of big things, did you guys cold plunge this morning at all or no?
I did.
did
did?
not.
How'd you feel?
Great. I fucking love it.
I felt emasculated. Have you ever really looked at your...
Kill you? Oh.
Have you ever really looked at your dick when you come out of a cold plunge? Because like usually you're outside and usually you have shorts on, but have you ever like gone to a mirror and looked at your shit?
I don't think I would want to.
So this is the reason why I don't cold plunge naked. It's just too demoralizing.
I cold
My
plunged.
kids like I don't know, they just cruise around the house too, like randomly. So I'm like,
Yeah, you can't be
okay,
doing
that's
that.
weird.
Luckily, I have dogs, not kids. But what happened was like I cold plunged. Then I was like, you know what? It was a cold morning this morning, as you know. Went upstairs, went to go shower. My girl was in there. She was doing her makeup because she has to get ready for some shit. So I pulled my towel down and I was looking at my shit and it was just fucking peanutted. It was just like,
You're like, she can't see this.
no, I was like, look, I swung it around. Like, how do you feel about this? She's like,
Takes
it's it's cute. And then I was like,
She's like, it's really
I
not
kind of
that
just
appetizing.
stopped. Yeah, I stopped and I was like, this is what gives women the ick. You know what I mean? When you do shit out of fun and then they're just like, I'll never unsee that.
Yeah.
She'll never unsee that baby dick.
That's true.
That's what cold plunging does to you, man. But it feels great. Either way, it feels great.
Recovery, whatever it takes.
Yeah, being on the, like, you know, you only have your own parts, so you're unfamiliar with other people's parts. And so if you see like a little tiny shrunken dick and you're a girl, you're probably like, what the fuck is that? Like, why is that like that? Like, I don't like when it's like that way, you know? But I don't think anybody likes when it's that way, just so you know, ladies.
Yeah.
None of us are that pumped about it.
Yeah. At least it comes back. All you need is a little warm water and it just
Oh, wouldn't that be the worst thing ever?
Permanent baby dick.
Like dudes just had to always avoid cold. They're just like, dude, damn, you hear what happened to so and so? Dude, they went and got cold. They're baby dick for life.
Fuck.
Can zap you.
Okay, by the way, we got 69 people watching now. That was quick.
Disgusting.
So, guys, we're going to start taking your questions. We got Kenny Williams here from Anabolic Activities.
Yeah, you guys got to be following Kenny.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
Yes. Go follow him. He's
I put it on my story.
also
There might be people I know in there.
Ooh.
Hopefully.
good. But you've lost how much weight recently? Like, I mean, you
120 pounds.
120 pounds. 24, 5 pounds.
25 pounds in how long?
3 weeks.
For what? What's going on?
Prep. I'm 16 weeks out this week. Yep.
How'd that weight drop so quickly?
I don't fucking know.
Passion?
I don't know. I really don't know. I was just telling Mark about this. I just really cleaned up my food.
You didn't look fat.
Yeah, no,
I felt fat.
Well, yeah, it's way bigger than you're used to. I mean, you've only been over 240 pounds for the last, like, couple months, really, right?
He was 250, right?
Yeah.
I was almost 260. Yeah.
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 Now the truth comes out.
Yeah. It was rough. I couldn't breathe. Sex was hard. Everything was hard.
Wait, how was sex hard? Because you're still like you're a good 250. So what made sex difficult?
Well, I don't know.
Triceps getting tired.
I don't know if this person's gonna watch this, but I will say I just sweat
He
so
won't.
much. I sweat. She might, but I sweat so much. It's so uncomfortable. It's like after I'm done, I'm like fucking like it's
Drenched.
on her. Like fuck, dude, this is tough. This is real. I'm sorry. I
She
just
got a shower.
apologize.
That's it.
Drops of sweat right on her.
Yeah, I just apologize. I'm like fuck. This is just what I'm going through right now.
Okay.
That's
What I'm going through.
the benefits of jujitsu is like the guy can like sweat right into your face. It's great.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm used to it, but I don't think she was.
Yeah.
I felt kind of upset.
She had a new experience. I want to give you guys a heads up. So we're going to be answering your questions. What you got to do is we're going to be giving away some stuff from Viore, which is a clothing brand that we rock with, Vivo, Barefoot, Within You supplements. We're going to be giving away stuff for some people who ask questions at the end. But if you want to get your prize, you need to come to Discord because some people want some stuff from the last one. And one person got their ears to play a hostage tape, but a few other people didn't message me. So
What the F?
your prize goes into the ether and it's never coming back to you unless you win again.
Just goes into our pocket.
It goes to our pocket, pretty much. So ask your questions here. We'll answer them. We'll get to them. And if you leave a super chat, we'll get to that first. But there's no pressure to leave a super chat. We'll still try to answer as many questions as we possibly can.
And Nsima, when did you make your most gains, I guess you'd say? Like when did you, like you were like 210 or something, I think you said, or something like that when you were playing soccer when you were young?
At my peak playing
You went
soccer
to like
in college.
230, 240, like in a small stretch of time, I think, right?
Yeah, so how it happened was I started lifting at 13 because I had to stop playing soccer. I'll try to keep this short so we can get to these questions. So I lifting at 13. From 13 to 16, I got up to around 220 at 16 years old. But I was able to gain that weight because I think I started at 13, maybe around 175, 180 pounds. And when I was 220, it's not like I was a super lean 220. I had some body fat on me. But when I started playing soccer again, I dropped down over the next few like months, maybe around a year. I got down to like 195. And then when I was in college, I really worked on trying to be a little bit bigger on the field. So in college, I got up to 215 on the field. So this is 215 while running around, sprinting, playing soccer, practicing multiple times a week, and strength training. after I got injured in college and I couldn't play soccer anymore, that's when I started focusing on lifting again. And then within the next 2 years, I got up to 240, did my first bodybuilding show, went down to 220. When that off season, got up to 265, and then cut back down to 229, 230 for my last bodybuilding season in 2015. So, yeah.
It seems important, like gain your size when you're young. You know, I think you did something. You're doing something similar. You're going through that process now, and Nsima's way older than you, but you're in the middle. You're in the middle of this process, and I think some of the weight that you weigh now is probably going to be similar to what you weigh probably for a long time. Like you might in bodybuilding, you might keep ratcheting up, and you might move through the ranks of bodybuilding, maybe be a pro bodybuilder and stuff someday, but. Ideally, you'll probably kind of land somewhere within the weight that you weigh now. Yeah. You'll just be leaner at the weight that you are right now.
Yeah. That was kind of what my goal was this last bulk. That was the heaviest I've ever been. But I think like 220, 230 is where I'm comfortable at. But
after a bulk or like...
I don't, just where I feel best at.
Just feeling
like
good.
If I was doing stuff that like you were doing, like you maintain a good ass physique all the time and you're doing stuff you like, I would be like 230.
I got you.
But this off season, I just pushed it hard, and then now I'm in prep, so it's like.
What's the body weight right now?
224. Yesterday, I didn't check today.
And then what did you weigh when you were young, when you first started lifting, and like how long did some of this take to?
How young? Like when I 12?
Yeah, take us back.
I probably started at like 170, 175 when I first started lifting.
Playing baseball and lifting and
yeah, but by like junior year, I was in like I bulked my junior year of high school. That season I was like 220. And then I didn't like how I looked. So senior year, I was like 195. I did like my own little mock prep. So I was super lean that whole year.
So you started getting like into like real bodybuilding at that point, and paying attention to the diet and everything.
Yeah. And then after that, in college, that's when I just fucking bulked. I got super into it. I broke my hand.
Yeah.
And then that's when everything went downhill. I fucking quit baseball, dropped out of school. And then I fell in love with lifting, bodybuilding, and then I came here. And then that's when
You guys got a similar story. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You guys both ended up getting hurt in the sport that you love, and you had to kind of shift gears, and you shifted gears into something awesome and got jacked.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
Yeah. I'm loving it.
What do we got for questions?
All right. We're going to start with 5 a.m. because I think there's some good necks at this table. We got some people with some good necks. Are neck exercises necessary, or will your neck proportionally develop with the rest of your muscles over time? You do some neck-specific stuff, Kenny.
Yeah, it's a little skinnier now because...
Shut the fuck! Dude, your body dysmorphia.
No. When you cut, your neck gets small. I swear to God.
Yeah, your neck
My
does
neck is
look
small.
Your neck looks...
Dude.
No, I'm for real. My neck has came down, I know, because I measured.
Hey, you a real one for that, man.
It's weird, though. The three of us yesterday were like, man, Kenny's neck is getting so thin.
Yeah.
It's just weird. We brought it up yesterday.
That's fucked up. If you guys actually said that.
No, we didn't.
You have like side. You got like side neck. Like it's different than just traps. You got like the side neck thing going.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I don't think I have side neck.
But neck, I will say...
He's got this thing.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that
that extra thickness.
Yeah, but I think you should train your neck because I was obsessed with having, like, I would see like a wrestler or a power lifter like Pete Rubish with a thick ass neck. It just made everything, just made you look more.
Pete Rubish was all neck.
Yeah, it just made you
Hall
look
of Fame.
Yeah, it just made you look more physical. And I always wanted that, like wearing a t-shirt and your neck hugs the fucking loop or whatever. But I didn't get that from just training. I didn't get that from deadlifts. And so my neck, for like 3 years, I was trying, everything else is getting bigger, but my neck, I was like so insecure. I was like, fuck, I have a noodle ass neck. So that's when I started training it, and then it improved.
Yeah. I would totally agree with that. Over the years, I didn't do much neck specific work, but my neck was okay. But within the past 2 years, I started adding more network, and especially this year, I've been adding more network because like as time goes by with jiu-jitsu and all the ways that you have to roll on top of your neck, and then we had what's his name, wrestler, American hero,
Kurt Angle.
When we had Kurt Angle on the podcast, seeing his neck, but seeing first off the injuries he had and how things could have been worse if he didn't have a big neck, I've really told myself, I'm going to make this neck real fucking thick and strong, so that I'm older, I'm still going to be grappling. I want this neck to be able to handle all that shit.
What's the name of the thing we have in the gym? That little plate loaded thing. Do you remember?
Strong neck.
The strong neck, and you use that quite a bit, right?
Yeah. I use that.
Basically it's basically like a little weight holder, and it's got a little pad on it, and you just let your head go off the bench, and you move your head like side to side or up and down as you lie down on your back or lie down on your side, right?
Yeah. But I saw a video that Super Training posted before I got here with Josh Bryant, and it was just, you did it. It was just the body weight. I've been.
Oh no!
Hey now.
Oh fuck!
I'm busted my drink all over myself.
Oh no!
Okay, keep going.
Fuck, man! It like he got mad.
Yeah,
He got mad and just slammed it down.
I don't think he liked that.
He didn't like you talking about Josh Bryant.
Yeah, maybe I don't know what he has
Brought
against
up
that
some
guy.
trauma.
What exercises were they doing?
It was just body weight, like on the floor. You just do these this way, and I did those sophomore year all the way till now. So for like, I don't know how many years that is, but that's a lot of years.
Training the neck is actually really interesting. I've noticed that when I do even just a small amount of neck exercises, let's just say I went through 2 different movements. Say I did the one that we said where you have the weight on your forehead and the one where you have the weight on the side of your head. If I do like 2 sets of both of those exercises, my whole entire back and my whole body feels different.
How so?
Have you noticed that from neck work? My whole spine feels better. And even doing the iron neck and doing some of the twists, I don't use that thing that often, but sometimes it's just in the gym kind of set up. And I've used that before. It's kind of funny because it's like a cage for your head. It's like a helmet, and you like pump it up. It makes it look kind of silly, but you turn your head side to side, and there's something that feels really good about it. I know that I've been to some seminars before where there was some Russian lifters at the seminar, and they were explaining how they would do a lot of neck work before the movements that they were doing. They said it helped stimulate the central nervous system. So I always thought it was valuable.
Nowadays, I do a level of neck work every single day because I like the iron neck. I'm getting a new one. A new one's going to be coming in. But you can do neck work with like a band. Like what I'll usually do is I'll put a band around my head, and I'll have it like on a pole. And if the tension's this way, I'll do retractions, and I'll do turns this way. Then I'll turn my head this way with the band again facing that direction, and I'll turn into the band slowly, do really high reps, and I'll do that all around, kind of simulating what you do with an iron neck. But with an iron neck, you can add more resistance.
Right.
So that's why I really like that one. But like you can do a level of neck work every day. It just depends on the intensity of which you do it.
Follow Josh Settlage, follow Josh Bryant if you're looking for more stuff on some neck work, because I think it can be really valuable.
Yep. And for any grapplers, I have neck work in the Untapped program that just came out. So you'll have your neck work there too. All right. So also, anyone in here right now, 87 people watching. If you can, this live will get out to more people if you just click that thumbs up. So click that thumbs up. Let's see if we can get that up to like maybe 50 soon. And we're going to keep answering your questions. 5 a.m., you're on the list for the giveaway at the end of the show.
I want to also mention that, Kenny, you train a couple things like multiple times a week, right? Like, obviously, you're training like chest and shoulders and so on, once or twice a week. But on top of that, the smaller muscle groups, you're getting to quite a bit, right?
Oh yeah. When I do cardio, I do either calves, rear delts, abs. I always sneak something in. Most of the time it's calves because I'm obsessed with having.
He sends me videos. He's like, I'm working out behind your back. I'm sneaking this in. I'm going to be in the rear delt Hall of Fame.
I do. I sent him a video of me doing standing calf raises the other night.
Mm-hmm. How often do you do calves? That's good that you do it. A lot of people skip them.
Every fucking time I can.
His calves are blown up too.
Yeah.
Look
Guys
great.
can grow if you touch them, guys.
Yeah. I just posted something on my story, and my cat. I sent it to you, but the calves are looking decent, so I'm excited.
All right, we got a fun question, and then we'll move past this one. But Pat Project family, we love beef on this podcast. We talk about it a lot. All right, we love our meat. But sometimes eating the same meat all the time can get a little bit boring. That's why we partner with Good Life Proteins, which also has certified Piedmontese on their website. But sometimes you might just want to eat some chicken or fish or duck. Duck. Who eats duck? But you can eat duck. That's why if you go to goodlifeproteins.com, you can select their Build-A-Box options and input all the proteins you want. Then you'll select subscribe and save to save money on all of your meat. If you enter code PowerProject at checkout, you can save up to 25% on your subscription. That means you're going to be saving 25% on all of that different meat that's going to be heading to your door. Once again, head to goodlifeproteins.com. You can enter code PowerProject and save up to 25%. Links are in the description box below, as well as the podcast show notes. What strategies can be used to put an end to hardcore porn addiction? This question comes up every few lives. So, like, what you guys got?
That's not funny, really.
I mean, we've all gone through it.
Yeah.
I stopped watching porn.
How long ago?
Yeah, how long ago?
I didn't keep track, but a long time ago. I just felt like I was like, damn, this is one, a waste of time
Yeah.
and energy, and it also just fucking gave me a way different like view on sex. I
Tell
don't
me
know.
how so?
Just unrealistic shit, like thinking it's gonna be some crazy fucking like you when you're just watching something that's just insane. It's not how it's really gonna go. It's more of like a
Yeah, when you first watch porn, you can kind of get off to just about anything, but as you
Yeah.
watch it longer, you'll get into probably more and more
Escalates.
quote unquote weird shit.
yeah, and it's just not that. I feel like it's just
It's not real.
no. There's no connection. There's just a whole lot of fucking, which is, I mean, if that's your thing, cool. But I just had to stop watching it.
Yeah. Nah, I agree. Like, so, like, did anything help you stop watching it? Because I know for me, like, I'd stop for a bit, and then I'd be sad one night and be kind of bored, and I'd just pull it up and whack one off and be like, "Wah," right? So, what strategies did you use personally? Because I didn't even know you stopped. That's dope.
Yeah,
Light your laptop on fire or something.
Yeah, no, I just fucking I don't really have any advice. I just stopped.
Okay.
I literally just stopped. I was just like, I don't. And I mean, when you don't fucking beat your shit all the time, I just have more aggression. I have more energy to use throughout the day. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. So
I think there's some people that can probably watch it and maybe not get as
Sucked
maybe
in.
messed up and stuff like that. I think people can, I guess, use it what it's originally intended for, which is like kind of like a fantasy of some sort.
A nice quick nut.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? No strings attached.
Yeah, I don't think it's like super problematic for everyone, but for myself, I remember hearing, I think it was on a podcast where people were talking about porn and the porn industry, and they were talking about like sex trafficking and stuff, and they started getting into more details about that, and they started talking about the ages. I'm like, I'm fucking out. I'm not watching that shit ever again because
you don't know.
I got a daughter that's 16, so I'm like, this just doesn't make any sense. I don't want to put any attention towards that industry or give them any credit, or it's not even money, but I would watch it, So I was like, I don't want to be part of that.
Yeah. And a quick strategy for this guy real quick is that, dude, just clean up your feeds a little bit because it gets easier to not get sucked into the vortex of fat asses and Latinas and all this kind of
Why
wild
are you smiling
stuff.
so big?
It's just, but
It's gross. Oh, okay, you're smiling 'cause it's gross.
No, but if I'm be real,
Specifically Latinas.
all kinds.
There you go. We're inclusive.
But, we're inclusive.
Brazilian, yeah.
Brazilians. But the thing is like,
dangerous.
if your feed is constantly like, ooh, self-improvement, ass, self-improvement, ass, ass. Oh shit, I'm on Pornhub.
You got Kenny thinking over here.
no, I was gonna say my feed is all men. I swear to God, it's all men bodybuilders. I swear to God.
Self-improvement and muscle.
Yeah.
There you go.
all mine is.
Well said. Because like what I was gonna say is like porn is kind of like a I don't know. It's like somewhere else that I don't even know like how to get to that location. Like it doesn't exist in my world right now because the feeds are all clean. So the only time I think about it is when somebody else kind of brings it into, you know, my feed or whatever. But also like kind of along the lines of what Mark was saying, like, yeah, you don't want to quote support the things that like there's a reason why it's free, right? Like there's a reason why it's so accessible. There's a reason why there's a lot of people that say, no, it's fine, go ahead. Because somebody or some entity is trying to get men to like not be as like enthusiastic, as not as aggressive. You know, they're trying to calm everyone down and make everyone go take a nap. And this, you can look at a lot of things that way. Like when it comes to food, like why is the cheap shit like so bad for us, or why is the bad stuff so cheap? Because they want us eating that stuff. So for me, when I look at it like that, I'm like, yeah, no, fuck that. Like, I'm not going to be part of the people that get sucked into that bullshit.
I look at a lot of stuff like that, like even little shit, like being on the airplane when they give you like whatever bullshit they hand out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not part of that fucking group. Like, fuck you. I don't want anything from you. Don't give me that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not eating what everybody else is eating. I'm not doing that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm better than you bitches.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And if you think that sounds crazy, wait till you hear Gil Headley about vasectomies on the episode we just recorded.
God.
Guys, oh my God.
Circumcision.
Yeah, sorry, what did I say?
Vasectomy.
Oh, sorry, I meant circumcision. My bad.
Well, I was just thinking, am I wrong? Am I getting it?
No, my bad.
Circumcised, yeah.
Guys, for me personally, and we'll get to, there's actually a super chat. Someone thanked us, and there's a super chat that was a question, but that Gil Headley episode that's coming out, I believe on Monday, Andrew?
Yeah, we'll do it Monday.
Guys, oh my God. Gil is amazing. It's probably my favorite podcast of the year.
Yeah.
Easily.
Easily.
Same. I think it's my favorite podcast we've ever done, period.
Shit.
Really?
Yeah.
That says a lot. You've done a lot of fucking podcasts.
Yeah, it was amazing.
All right, two quick things. A super chat from Boaz. Oh,
Hell yeah.
$20. Just saying thanks, guys. I've recovered a ton of injuries by using tools learned from this podcast. Fascial maneuvers from Human Garage and Chris Godowski have been a highlight. Do you guys do any fascial maneuvers? Thank you, Boaz. Mark?
Do you do anything injury-wise, Kenny? You're usually... I've actually never even heard you. Have you had injuries from lifting?
No.
Good.
No. Just a broken hand. But that wasn't from
What
lifting.
about a little tweak in the back from deadlifting or something back in the day or something?
Actually, I did strain my quad. Jake was behind me. I was squatting. I just went up to I went from 2 plates to 4 plates.
Is it recent?
It was cold. No, this was 3 years ago.
That's a good
And
record.
then I was squatting, came up, and then it was 3 pops, and I dumped it, and then I was like, fuck, I'm done. I'm out.
How do you...
Then I was fine.
How come you think that's so? How come you think you're able to avoid injury? Because I think avoiding it is the greatest. That's the, it's good to talk about these tools to help you overcome having soft tissue issues or something being slightly strained and all that kind of stuff. But it's great just to avoid the whole damn thing altogether.
Quick thing, though, too. This is a milestone right now. I think this is the first time we've had 105 people in the room.
Nah.
The last time we had max of 99. So right now there's 105 people in here. Kenny, don't forget your train of thought.
People are going crazy.
Hey, yo, thanks, peeps.
Sick. Thank
Like
you,
it.
everybody.
All right, Kenny.
I just listen to my body for and I also think I've always been pretty, I can't say I did anything for my mobility because I've always had it. So it's always been pretty easy. But I think setting a super solid strength base for 4 years just allowed, and I always wasn't trying to have any weak links. So I'd train everything, lower back, a lot of hamstrings, neck, everything you could think of, I train. So I think that making sure that there's really no weak point, not even muscle size, but just strength.
You don't look like you have weak points.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, I just think that I know, going into stiff legs or something like that, if my lower back isn't strong enough, my hamstring might go or something might go. So I just train everything. I trained everything for 4 years super hard. I guess you could call it powerlifting. It was power building kind of. But also just the main thing is just listening to my body. I know when I can feel when I can go deadlift 7 plates.
Yeah.
But if I'm not in that headspace, if my body's not feeling on
what's pretty
point,
crazy about you is that you could go do that right now.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing. Your body, I mean, you train hard, so it makes sense. But like, you could go and squat 6 plates, maybe 7 plates.
Yeah.
With a good warm up
Yeah.
right now-ish, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. It's hard to. I think it's just. I want to say it's a mental thing because in my head, not to be like a douchebag, but when I'm just to myself, I'm like, there's nothing that I can't do. So if I really wanted to go deadlift 7 or 8 plates, I could do it. If I wanted to jump on a super high box jump, I could do it. I just gotta. I don't know. I think it's just a mental thing and avoiding.
Because when you worked out with Stan, that was pretty wild. Like, you haven't gone that heavy in a long time, and then out of nowhere, he's making you do these heavy ass, and it's all raw, no sleeves, no belt, right?
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, so that I kind of just, I don't know. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. I feel like I can do it, so I'm just gonna fucking do it. If I can't, I can't. But there hasn't been too many situations where I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and then I fail. So I'm just listening to my body.
Did you try making those noises like Stan?
Yeah, I definitely did make some noises. We did some free squats before. I don't know how many plates we did. I think it's on the slide before.
But I want to rewind to something that you mentioned, though. You mentioned Mark asked you about mobility, and you kind of said, I've always had it. Yeah. But you were an athlete, dude. Like, you guys worked on that type of stuff, I'm assuming. So when you say you've always had it, do you really mean you've always had it, or you put in the work for it at a certain point in time and you've maintained it?
It's hard. I think I don't know, because even in baseball, my biggest issue was the coaches telling me to train and do certain things for mobility, and I would just I wouldn't tell them to fuck off, but I would do what I wanted, which is deadlift heavy ass weight and train like a bodybuilder the whole time I was playing baseball. You doing that, right? But I could always, like, we would go to I don't know, there was like a specific workout type of coach guy that my coach would send most of the kids on the team too. And I would fucking hate it. But when it came to like, all right, we got to test our jumps, we got to do this, I was always on point with that. So I was like, why? I just kind of always been able to move that way. I don't know how to explain it.
Gotcha.
I'd say what I believe is probably true of a lot of people is that one of the reasons why some people pick and choose certain sports is because of their like affinity to do it in the first place. So when I was young, I was like bigger, I was heavier, I already was into lifting, and football was like a natural choice. And then so therefore I didn't pick gymnastics. I didn't pick something that would have a lot more, I guess, athleticism to it. But to answer the question about the myofascial release and stuff like that, I do that all the time. I think all three of us, Nsima, Andrew, and myself, all do some type of like soft tissue work on something. It seems like nearly every single day, right?
I'd say, yeah. And I'd say that the thing is the reason why I find it so powerful is because being human, you have this routine and it feels great, but then you kind of stop doing things for a little bit of time.
Those sucked.
And so good mornings?
Yeah.
Those are,
you
those
guys
are 3 plates?
You guys went to 4.
4? Jesus, Kenny.
That was tough.
But the thing is that, like, I always notice, like, when I do myofascial release after not doing it for a while, I'm like, wow, movement feels so much better and smoother. Why don't I just keep doing this again every day? And then I go on a stretch of doing it every day. So there's a level of it that we do every single day because it's so good. I'd say mess around with the fascial maneuvers from Human Garage because you might find certain things are pretty helpful. But yeah, myofascial release and pressure, super helpful. And we just learned that from Gil Headley. Again, another person that kind of stamped that in. Podcast coming out on Monday.
And also I would say, like, you shouldn't have to feel like that you need to do those things all the time. It's nice to go and do them.
Yeah.
But see if you can try to get to the root cause of what is causing that problem. Maybe you just need an extra day off of jiu-jitsu. Maybe you need an extra day off of running. Maybe you need to back off your lifting. Sounds like Kenny is like super in tune with his body and how he feels. So I'd imagine even though you love all the stuff that you do, and you're probably not going to really back down, you'll probably make different choices of exercises if something hurts, right?
Yeah, for sure. Especially, I did that the other day. I've been having a weird issue with my pec, so I'll either completely cut the exercise or I will go lighter and do some type of like set intensifier and then just call it there and then hope next week it feels a little bit better. But
But one thing also, this is the last thing I'll say about this. I like the way you look at those things, because sometimes when people ask, do you have an injury? Like, someone would sometimes categorize that thing you were talking about in your pec as an injury. But you're like, you get these tweaks, but you know how to work around them. I think we all get these little things, but we've been doing this for so long that, like, you know that you can train around it. You know that you can slowly increase intensity. If you go, you won't go too hard to injure it. But you can train around it so it can heal, and then you can keep pushing. That's how it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Quick super chat, and then question. It's from JP503. Thank you. Would barefoot shoes be good for kids in basketball if they can run faster barefoot, or would they be more prone to injury?
Yeah, I think it can be great. I think Ben Patrick has created a shoe for basketball. I don't know if he makes them for like smaller kids and stuff yet, but you know, I think the problem sometimes is that, like, if you find like a barefoot style shoe, it might not be for volleyball, or it might not be for basketball. So it might be missing some components. It might not have the ankle stability or something like that that maybe a basketball coach or somebody's looking for. But I don't even know how much of that stability you actually need. A lot of what we, formerly knew about shoes has been, just kind of total bullshit. So I think having a shoe fit is probably the most important thing, and that's the way that someone's going to be able to strengthen their feet and their ankles.
Are there any kid shoes over there, Andrew? Like, what do they have for the kids? Because I'm wondering, like,
they have like,
because they don't have. Do they have sports shoes? Are those the kids' options?
no, fuck, click women's.
Oh, those are women's.
It moved on me. I know they got like some dope boots. Oh yeah, see there.
Oh
These
shit!
are kids' boots.
We're looking at some Vivo Barefoot, but they have great shoes, and they have shoes for kids too. I think.
So it doesn't look like they have anything that would fit for like a
For, like,
basketball
sport.
court.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
But like I said, I think these are for really like small little kids.
What was Anya?
Anya's reviews.
Yeah.
Check out her blog. She has a lot of barefoot shoes on her website.
I wouldn't be surprised if you typed in like Anya's reviews and searched for basketball. I'm sure you would probably find
something.
because she talked about everything. We asked her questions on the show about basketball and about volleyball and all kinds of stuff.
Derek Pearson, do you use baby oil on your muscles, Mark? This was specifically to you. He wants to know if you use baby oil. And you probably have, right?
It's coconut oil, right? That's what we've been using.
No, actually, when I first started bodybuilding here, I still think he was probably fucking with me looking back. But Chris, I was posing.
Bell?
Yeah, Chris Bell.
Uh-huh.
I was posing out there, and he was like, "Oh, you got to do this with the lights." So we did something with the lights. And then in the break room, there was a bottle of olive oil. And he was like,
How long ago was this?
This was like 2 years ago.
What's your brother into, dog?
And he rubbed.
How old were you at this point?
I was.
Were you
I was
under 18?
20. No, I was 20.
Oh, okay.
I was
All
20,
right.
maybe 19. But we
Thought this was going south for a minute.
He dumped a whole bottle of olive oil. I swear to God, and he rubbed it all over me.
Chris Bell?
Yeah,
Why am I just hearing this story?
I don't know because
He's like, Kenny, this is good.
No, I swear
Get
to
your
God,
kicks.
I swear to God, that's how it went. I don't think he was trying to be,
You're like, what's that thing that's poking me from your pants?
Yeah,
It's my phone.
yeah. I was like, you know what? Maybe he knows a thing or two about olive oil. So
Well, did it work?
it did work.
There you go.
So yeah, it made me shiny. Made me pop.
Monounsaturated fats is what you're saying. It's
Yeah,
the way to go.
yeah.
Kenny's over here talking about his assault, and we're laughing.
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe
joking. You were assaulted.
It's all right.
Some beef tallow next time.
Yeah.
Probably be a little bit better.
There was like tons of bottles of olive oil outside.
Guys, we just got a $400 super chat.
What? Are you sure?
All right. Ginger Elizabeth won't let me order from Canada anymore. Super chat for the staff. It's from
Maddie. Matthew Balcom.
Matthew Balcom.
Oh, he's a goat.
Yo.
Ginger Elizabeth is fucking unreal.
Yeah.
They make cookies and all kinds of other stuff. Amazing.
Damn,
Chocolate
Matt.
shop in the area.
Matt.
Thank you. Holy shit. Well, guys want to get off the mic now? We don't really need to do anything anymore, right? I'm fucking with you.
Amazing.
Oh, man.
Damn, dude.
I'm a little speechless right now.
Yeah.
That totally floored us.
I'm torn. I love those cookies.
What is a super chat?
A super chat is when somebody can like send in $5, $10, whatever. We'll answer the question
400.
first. But
This guy sent
they're helping the
400?
podcast. Yeah, Matthew Balcom. You don't know?
Fuck. No, I know. I know.
Yeah.
I follow him.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried beef tallow?
You mean rubbing on himself?
Yeah.
Or Okay.
Because that's the real secret. And Nsima and I will show you. The light's got to be a specific way.
Super good for your skin, legit. Like,
Nsima has a
really
room
good
back
for
there
your
that's set
skin.
up
Wait,
for
actually?
bodybuilding.
All right, I'll try it.
Yeah, I forgot. that
Andrew will do it. Take the pictures. It's going to be great.
Perfect. Sounds good.
I'll come out of retirement for that.
Yeah.
We'll go live.
Improving your sleep quality is as easy as shutting your mouth. And what I mean by that is putting some tape on, breathing through your nose will increase your sleep quality. It's no longer just something that only the bros do. It's now been researched and people understand that if you can breathe through your nose while you're asleep, you'll have better sleep quality and you will wake up more rested. Hostage tape is also really awesome because I know what I used to do. I used to use a little bit of a cheaper tape, and every time I'd wake up in the morning, the tape would be somewhere else on the bed or on my face, but it wouldn't be on my mouth anymore. But hostage tape, if you have a beard or if you don't, will stay comfortably on your mouth all through the night. And if you're someone who has a problem breathing through your nose, Hostage also has nose strips, so you can place those on your nose while you're asleep, or if you want to be like one of those Hormozy guys, you can wear it during the day. Andrew, how can they get it?
Yes, that's over at hostagetape.com/power project, where you guys will receive an entire year's supply of mouth tape and the nose strips for less than $1 a night. Again, that's over at hostagetape.com/power project. Links in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
All right. I'll answer this quick question. There's a lot of questions, guys.
Oh, man.
What's your opinion on Osgood Slaughter? I've been rehabbing it for like 4 months, and it is better. I'm happy for you, dude. What do you recommend for jumping plyo progressions? I had Osgood Slaughter in both knees. That's what took me out of soccer when I was 13 years old, and I had it for 3 years, but I wish I knew to do something for my knees, because if you can just slowly bring tension to that area, minimize jumping, right? And just do things like in the ATG app, there's like the Zero program that Ben has for people with no equipment. You know, those Peterson step-ups, minimal knee flexion, just getting tension in there, that will help over time. Slowly progress. And then if you want to start jumping, which I would say be careful with Osgood Slaughter, because a lot of people, it goes away with time. But when you go back to like hard lateral movements and jumping too soon, you could really aggravate things. Just take it slow. I would say maybe try jump roping a little bit. That could be something that could allow you to just get a little bit of tension there. But Osgood Slaughter is usually something that happens and it goes away after your growth spurt finishes. A lot of kids usually get it within a growth spurt. I got it in a growth spurt. And when I was 16, which is when like I got close to my peak height, that's when it like really minimized and I could start playing soccer again. But the thing is don't stay away from pain. Try to, get stimulation to those tendons and ligaments in the knee. Handle it pain-free and progress it slowly. It will go away over time.
Yeah, I had it in junior high. I had just like a growth spurt, just like every other teenager that had that experience. But I ran away from it. I didn't move at all. Ooh. But it did get better. And I'm not saying I'm not saying to not do anything about it. But I am saying is that even somebody with zero effort was able to just let time pass, and I got over it. So it's just a matter of time before you do as well. Yeah,
growth will definitely make it go away.
Does it hurt?
It hurts. Yeah. I had it in both knees. Like I tried playing soccer through it. That shit, for one wrong movement and like you're fucking on the ground writhing in pain.
Yeah, and mine also was like sensitive to the touch too, because it was like always swollen.
There's a bump there. Yeah. Like I still have a bump on both of my knees from Osgood Slaughter.
Bump,
yeah, the Osgood Slaughter bump. Yeah, Shaq had Osgood Slaughter, so we're in good company.
I was trying to find a good picture of it, but I couldn't find anything. Because it can your knees can end up looking kind of weird, right? Like almost like an extra bone sticking out of it.
You got a bump on both knees. Sam Okunola had Osgood Slaughter. A lot of people, it's just like maybe 10% of people or something get it. But yeah. This is a question that I think can be applicable to everyone, but someone asked in reference to jiu-jitsu. Is creatine appropriate to take for a post-jiu-jitsu workout, or is it just for lifting?
It's funny. I just recorded something saying that's when I take it.
Everyone should just take creatine anytime. You don't have to take it post-jiu-jitsu. You can take it in the morning.
I don't think there's any just as long as you get it in. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I would say one thing, though. The bigger you are, maybe try taking a little bit more creatine. I take 10 grams of creatine a day.
Wow.
But I'm 250, right? So it's like you should probably be taking more creatine than like 5 grams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like most people, 3 to 5 grams work. But if you are heavier, take more creatine. You can utilize it.
It used to be so expensive.
Yeah,
I'm so old that I remember when it first came out.
How expensive was it?
Like
I don't remember exactly how expensive it was, but I want to say it was like $50 or $60 for like a little tiny like tub of it.
Damn.
And they would tell you
$60.
Yeah, and they would tell you to take like I think 3 grams, and it would tell you like in the beginning you would take 10 grams a day for like 5 days or something like that, and then you could take it down to like 3 grams. But I think that was a way of just like selling you on like the fact that it was expensive. You know, they were like trying to minimize your damage, I guess.
Yeah, I got some stuff coming out with Nootropics Depot, but I say I take it afterwards because I just don't want a lot of stuff in my stomach when I go to jiu-jitsu. So the least
Do you
amount.
feel creatine before?
No, I in general don't want like anything
wanna
extra
try it,
in my
yeah.
system like at all because
Okay.
like sometimes I do get a little nauseous because I'm moving so much. But,
Okay.
and it's also like first thing in the morning, so like the least amount of stuff I can have in my system, the better.
Gotcha. Mark, from Jason B. That new Total Carnivore protein is fire. Got 3 bags to give as gifts to my college-age nephews who follow animal-based diets. They're gonna love it. No doubt.
Damn.
Nice.
That's sick.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that product. I just
Same.
went firing right through it. I need to get some more.
All right. This is a question from Hernan Martinez. What do you tell someone who always cramps up during workouts even though they hydrate?
Sometimes a muscle cramp is like you're not that familiar with using that part of your body in that particular way. For example, I think some people listening right now that are tight in certain areas could think of they could get themselves into particular positions and cramp. Like even if I wanted to, I could flex my hamstring and make it cramp. I don't know why, but I could like shorten it and bring my heel up towards my butt and I can make it cramp. So some of it's just familiarity with certain exercises. A cramp is not a bad thing. If a cramp kind of locks down on you and bears down on you, that can really suck. It could be super painful. But like when you're stretching or you're trying to work on new ranges or new mobility, you're going to feel these like little tweaks, these little. But those things are good. I think they're good to work through. But you do need to be a little cautious and a little careful. Graham was somebody that showed me this. Like, he would show me some exercises on the floor and stuff. I'm like, my toes keep cramping. He's like, that's okay. It's not a bad thing. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, yeah, okay, just kind of deal with it. Just breathe and relax and kind of work on it. So there's going to be certain movements that you do where your body is just going to want to cramp. So sometimes cramping is also tightness. And so what I have to be religious about is, last night I didn't sleep well because I went out and ran. It was later in the evening and I went about 7 miles. And then when I got home, just the recovery, it takes me a while to recover from a run. And I needed to like stretch and move around a bunch because otherwise I'm going to lay down, go to bed, and I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night with some crazy cramp and has nothing to do with hydration. It just has to do with tight muscles. So for this guy, I would suggest that you try to get some mobility, move around a little bit as you exercise. You don't have to necessarily like stretch, but move around a lot.
Electrolytes can also be helpful because like some people are actually electrolyte deficient even though they're drinking a lot of water. So electrolytes are something that I use every single day. I'm assuming you use electrolytes
Absolutely.
too. Like, that could be one of your answers. But like Mark mentioned, it's one thing that I like to do is even when I tweaked my hip recently, when I'm doing rehab stuff, I'm trying to get that area to cramp. I'm trying to get as much, like, if I'm trying to like tighten up my hip and then get it to seize up and then kind of work through that. I kind of like massage the cramp out. So I try to keep that area tight and just move around with it. Because what I notice is when I'm able to do that, the cramp goes away and then I have full access to that range. Same thing with the hamstring. Like when doing hamstring stuff, I'll get it to cramp, or even bicep stuff, I'll get it to cramp, then I'll move around in the cramp and become more comfortable. Then that cramp will go away, and then I have access to that range of motion with that muscle. So that's kind of how I've used cramps to help myself move better over time.
Yeah, that's what a therapist will do, right? When they're working on you, is they're going to apply some pressure to you. It's going to be super uncomfortable, and they're going to kind of keep working through that knot or working through that spot.
I get some gnarly. I think I definitely have a sodium.
You can do that thing, right?
Yeah, it's on my Instagram. I definitely can do it when I'm lean, but I found out that it's just a electrolyte imbalance. So the only person I know that has this is Joe Aesthetics, and he said the exact same thing. It's when either your muscles are cold. Oh, it might be.
Is that what you're talking about? Or
Yeah,
that one.
that.
So that happens in all my muscles, and it happens when
All your muscles.
Yeah, it happens when you like if let's say I'm laying in bed, and my legs haven't moved for a while, or it's cold.
Yeah.
When I lift it or move that muscle, it like. But you can cue it with certain muscles. It's harder with like quads.
Yeah.
But with chest, all you do, which is what Joe Aesthetics basically said the same thing. I was like, it clicked. I was like, fuck, that's
A lot of times I have to sleep with, I got to sleep with like sweats on, like with pants on.
Yeah.
Because the same thing, if my legs get cold, I'll cramp.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't like to have blankets on. So it's weird. It's a weird, like, I got to like try to figure out how to, like, I don't mind having some blanket on, but I get too warm a lot of times with a full blanket. So.
Wait, so do you sleep in just sweats and no blanket?
I have a blanket on now because it's cold, but
okay.
Sometimes, like even in the summer, if we crank the AC up and it's cool in our room, I'll get a cramp because it's weird because I'm like, I don't, you know, you would think you would get a cramp from being hot, right? Because you would dehydrate, but something happens to the muscles where the circulation is a little weird or different at that point. I think
it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. Good question, Hernan. Rum Aesthetics, thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Ooh, for our people who have kids, King Lear. We have 109 people in here. Thank you, guys. Glad you're here. For anyone here that hasn't heard, by the way, we're answering your questions. And at the end of this, we are going to pull names out of a bucket and give them some cool stuff from Vivo, Within You, Viore, maybe Hostage Tape. So that's what we're doing. So click like, ask your question, we'll try to get to it. I have 2 boys under the age of 2. I found if I push training too much, I've got no energy for my kids. If I throttle down training, I feel physical and mental health drop. Any suggestions? Much love from, where's OZ? Oz? Is this some mythical place or is that where's OZ?
Is it like a prison? Right? Isn't that a thing?
I don't know.
Anyway, y'all got kids. So,
man, he's got 2 kids under the age
Under
of 2.
Shit.
Yeah. 2 boys under 2.
Hey, the first thing I can mention or right away is like maybe get an app and just have some weights at your house. It's not super inexpensive, but you can get those sliding dumbbell things. You know, I forget what company makes them. But you can get like a dumbbell rack that goes up to like 50 pounds, increments of like 5 pounds each. And
like adjustable dumbbells, you mean?
Yeah. What the hell is the one?
Well, there's Bowflex, there's Power Blocks, there's all kinds. Yeah.
Bowflex still exists?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I want to say the Bowflex ones. I mean, again, it's not cheap, but it's like $500. I mean, that to me, that sounds amazing to have that amount of weight and have access to training at all times.
Yeah, Rogue makes some dope ones too.
And my wife's been getting way into lifting more recently. She's been doing a lot of Peloton workouts.
Nice.
And I think that people think that you need a Peloton bike or you need a Peloton treadmill in order to do Peloton workouts, but they have all kinds of workouts on there. Nice. Or even you can check out our good friend Jason Kalipe. He has an app with NC Fit. A lot of the stuff on these apps will require minimal equipment because they know that people, don't want to spend a fortune and not everyone has access to a, full garage setup. But to me, it's like Miranda Olroyd is somebody else who has, what was her garage? I can't remember. Maybe you can look it up. But she has an app as well.
It was a parking lot thing.
Yeah. Something parking, street parking.
There you go.
Street parking app that gives you workouts every day. A lot of people have them, so look into that. I think that would be your best bet. Maybe you're thinking like, man, I love the energy of the gym and so on, but that just might have to be like put on pause for a little while.
Yeah, I'm currently actually still trying to figure out that balance with 1 2-year-old, and my wife takes care of him majority of the time. So what she does is she does like beach body workouts still. Very minimum equipment. She can get, depending on how much time she has, she can get in and out in like 20 minutes and feel good for the whole day. For me personally, I 100% feel you. Like I was hanging out with my son last night and I fell asleep with him in my arms as he's watching like a cartoon, and then I snap out of it because he yells at me because I fell asleep. I'm still currently trying to figure it out. But one thing when it comes to the lifting, I said this recently because I referenced Giancarlo Bodoni. When he's talking about like technique and, like getting what he called like the wheel spinning, the initial like learning process of getting that going is hard to get that wheel spinning. But then after a little bit, it's already going. So you just kind of tap it and keep the wheel spinning. It doesn't take as much effort anymore. That's what your fitness level is right now. Like you're not going to lose everything because you take a week off, like I just realized. You're not going to lose it as fast as you think you're going to, because it's going to take a little tap to keep that wheel spinning. So don't feel too guilty for missing time in the gym, because it's not going anywhere, and being there for your family is like the most important thing anyways. But I do understand, because it does feel like shit when you can't get that, like, you know, again, iron therapy, as cliche as that may sound, or as, you know, bro-y as that sounds, it does make you better. But like I said, it's not going to go anywhere if you miss a day, and I personally am still trying to figure it out. But I've realized that, like, that mental shift of understanding that I'm not going to like fade into the abyss if I miss a day.
I think another option too would be to just, I know he said he's tired, but you might have to get used to it for a little while. Just try to exercise when they're sleeping, you know, try to exercise when they're sleeping, and try to do that as often as you can. And then communicate with your significant other and say, this is super important to me. I got to stay on track with this. I only have to do it twice during the week and one time on the weekend, or something like that. You know, barter a little bit, and hopefully your significant other has their thing that they need space for too. And you could say, I'll take care of the kids during that time, and hopefully you can help me out during this time so I can get my shit in.
I'm going to keep this short. I have no kids, but this is something that I know I'm going to continue to do when I do have kids, because I do it right now. We always talk about microdosing habits and microdosing movement. I have base block trainers at home, so I have those parallel bars at home. I have some kettlebells. I have a slant board. So literally, whenever I'm home, I might be working. I'll get up. I'll do a few chin-ups on my bars. They're right there in the living room. I'll do a few chin-ups. I'll sit on the slant board. I'll do some squats, and I'll hold myself in a squat a little bit. Then I'll go and I'll do some more work. I'll go hang out with my girl. I'll go outside, jump rope for a little bit, like a minute or two, go back inside, do whatever. The thing is those little things throughout the day, at the end of the day, you actually maybe got 15, 20 minutes of good movement in, but you're able to spread it out, right? So I imagine if you got these little 2-year-olds running around, finally they sit down, maybe you can bang out a few chins, bang out a few swings, bang out a few snatches, and get right back to them. You don't have to do the workout in one segmented piece of time during the day.
And it is a awesome thing when your kids see you do it.
Exactly. They might join in with you. Those little guys, right?
Probably better than the actual workout itself. When your little 2-year-old starts trying to do push-ups or sit-ups or whatever, it's really cool.
They're pretty strong too. You'll be surprised at like the weight that a little kid can pick up. Or you ever see those videos of like babies hanging from shit? Ooh. They got crazy grip.
Yeah, they do.
All right. Oh, guys, this is actually really sick. Valerie Page. Love the show. Been listening for 4+ years, and I attribute my 90-pound weight loss journey to many other habits and positive mindsets I have picked up over the years through your podcast. Now, a question from Valerie. Do any of you regularly eat keto bricks? I bought some of Mark Bell's keto bricks, and I'm wanting to know the best way to tackle these beasts with your steak shake or any regularly consumed protein.
I love those things.
Absolutely fucking love keto bricks. I love them, man, but it's a juicy thing to consume. So if you're somebody that's on a ketogenic style diet, then I think they can fit right in really well. The hard thing for me is like for some reason, like whatever amount something comes in, I feel that I have to eat that amount. So like I can't like break a piece of, I mean, the keto brick is perfect to like break a piece off and just eat that. But for some reason, like I got to eat the whole brick, which is like 1,000 calories.
Yeah.
No one's making me do it, but it tastes delicious and I just want to keep doing it. And that brownie batter one that he made with the steak shake is like, it's crazy. It's very, very good. So I would say if you can figure it out to try to eat like a quarter of it here or there, maybe half of it for the entire day, I think would be good. But a keto style diet, you know, I have always loved ketogenic style diets. I think a keto diet that is kind of low in calories, I think can be amazing. I think it can be, I actually think it can be a lot better than, you hear so many people talking about these kind of like 5-day fasts. I think a low calorie keto diet for 5 days would beat the shit out of a 5-day fast. I think it would be superior in a lot of ways because that's what you're trying to do anyway when you're doing a 5-day fast. You're trying to promote ketosis in a lot of ways. But a keto diet would also be like anti-catabolic as well. So you would be able to hold on to some of that muscle mass. But yeah, keto brick, just be careful. Like I wouldn't smoke through 2 of them every single day. Maybe just like a half of one each day would probably be good.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. But
Andrew, real quick,
what's up?
Just in case, some people are saying they're getting static audio. Do you?
How many? Some people.
Well, anabolic activities, and one other person said static, and then another person said it's static.
Well,
but oh well, it's fine. Maybe Wyatt's just fucking everything up like he always does.
Yeah, what is he doing?
Being Wyatt. why it's synonymous with fuck-uppery.
He's probably on some old internet cable thing. Kaping.
I'm joking. Why we love you. You're a G.
I was gonna say, DJ, our boy David Webb, he would break down the keto bricks and like melt them and then put them in like different molds so that way you don't blow through an entire brick in one shot. Yeah. So then you have little like, I don't know, whatever mold candies. Yeah.
I love them things.
It's time to step up your wardrobe. Now, we've partnered with Viora Clothing because their clothes are stuff that you can wear in the gym, but also on the go, to a dinner, on a date, pretty much anywhere. This is their Stratotech tank, and this is their rain shirt jacket. You guys have probably seen me wear these types of combos on this podcast for a long time now, and the stuff is super comfortable. It fits super well, and the winter months are coming, so you need to get yourself some nice long sleeve wear from their website. They also have a lot of other stuff like their Stratotech tee, their core shorts, which they have a ton of different colors, and they're pretty damn amazing. Their Ponto line, their Ponto Performance line with their Dream Knit fabric is super soft, like a baby's bottom, as weird as that sounds. They have a lot of amazing stuff on their website. Their Boulevard shirt jackets, Aspen shirt jackets, their sweaters. Let me show you something real quick. This is their Echo insulated jacket, and it is so warm. And since the winter months are coming, I'm going to be rocking this so much more. Guys, there's endless stuff for you on their website that just looks so good and performs so well. How can they get it?
You guys can get it over at viori.com/power project. That's VUORI.com/power project, and you guys receive 20% automatically when you go to that. Links down in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
All right. Question from Francisco Rodriguez. I'm currently having issues engaging my inner thigh muscles and have my outer and hamstrings have been overcompensating. Okay. I've started doing single leg lunges. Any other tips to engage it more? I'm going to quickly suggest that I think that you should figure out ways to like isolate this area.
Wyatt Films.
When you do lunges, another kratom for Kenny Kratom.
But I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'd say figure out ways and movements that you can use to isolate them. So if you're at a gym that has a lot of machines, you can do the bad girl machines or the adductions, seated adductions.
Talking about adductors, right?
Yeah. Because his inner thighs, his adductors. Yeah. So you can do those. You can do banded adduction, putting your foot through a band and doing those. I've mentioned Copenhagen's before. Those will really light up your inner thighs, and those will isolate those areas. And when you're able to isolate them and get them working on their own, you can then take that and then move it into a compound movement, something like, not many people do this, but I think it's great for the hips and the groin and the adductors, is the horse stance squat. The horse stance squat is when your legs are almost in like a tabletop type of position, and when you go down, you're lengthening your adductors and putting them under load of whether it's a barbell or a dumbbell that you're holding. It's a compound movement. You're about to
want to have it.
I'll take a little bit, but that would be my suggestion. Kenny, I know you probably do a lot of stuff for inner thigh since it's good for your bodybuilding, but do you have any suggestions for inner thigh stuff?
Yeah, I like the...
I already have some kratom tea that Mark gave me, so I'm not going to finish this or else I'm going to get too fucking mind-bulleted. So
yeah. No, luckily my adductors grew a lot from sumo deadlifting, and when I would squat in powerlifting, it was a lot of like I would be wider and use my hips, and that got a lot of, I don't know, they just grew a fuck ton. But I would say sumo deadlifts, the Copenhagen planks like you do, and yeah, the good girl, bad girl machine is a solid one.
I would say that I think there's some benefit in the hip flexor in there somewhere, because to flex that muscle and to get that area to like pop when you do like a flex, it kind of starts with like driving your knee forward a little bit. You drive your knee forward and then you turn your leg out a little bit, right? And that's how you get some of that. So if you have any access to like those machines in the gym that people use, that roller thing that people use to like kind of do like a high knee movement, or sometimes they'll put it behind their knee and they'll use it for the glutes. That machines like that are fucking amazing.
Multi-hip machine.
Yeah, the multi-hip machine, and you could pull it inward. So I would suggest trying to do it from a couple different angles.
Yeah.
Couple different angles. All right. A question from Amanda Serrano. Also, guys, we're at 59 likes, 102 people in here. If you haven't liked the video, could you help us maybe give us a like? And also, I'm going to mention this. The new Para Sandal is going to be coming out soon. It's stretchy. It's super comfortable. So if you guys like the old Para Sandal, this one's actually different because you can literally slip this one on. It's not on the website yet, but it will be. So I want to let you guys know that since you're here on the live. Second thing is, if you guys do listen to the podcast on audio platforms, I know right now you're on YouTube, but if you do listen on Spotify or Apple, could you give us a review there maybe when you get a chance? Not right now, you don't have to do it right now, but whenever you get a chance, because that helps the podcast grow on audio and we want to keep growing. So thank you guys, and now let's get to the next question.
Weren't we like third or something on fitness?
We
recently?
were fourth.
Fourth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been moving on up.
Almost podium.
Almost.
Hey, but we've been top 10 for like 4 years now.
How about maybe with each like you guys unbutton the shirt?
This isn't a strip show, Mark.
Oh.
This isn't fucking vanilla and chocolate.
And then the
over here.
hat comes off.
Yeah.
Every 10 likes.
From Amanda Sereno, question: what are some ways to get more food in you
Somebody
when you're
doesn't wanna
full
grow.
from consuming high protein meals and water throughout the day?
I know
You
about
guys
this.
know how to eat. Let's go, fatties. Let's go.
Chow.
Blend your food.
Mm.
Or hey,
No, go for it. What's up? Blend your food.
deep in the off season, I would blend chicken, or
Chicken shake?
or I would do a steak shake, which is when I thought about it, I was like, I'm fucking, I can't say that word. I was like, I'm fucking stupid.
You're riddled with
I'm like,
passion.
why the fuck am I blending my chicken when I could just have a steak shake? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just replace it. But I think shakes, easy, like food that's palatable. Bone broth in the rice, like Stan
That tastes
does.
good. Yeah.
Easy. There's easy shit like yogurt. You can do so much that's easy to get down.
A good way to eat more food if you're trying to eat like clean or healthy is just to combine stuff together, you know? So you have like, if you have steak, you know, steak is great, but it's kind of at a certain level, especially a leaner steak, it's going to be harder to get down. So if you have a steak, but you have some bell peppers and some onions, that makes it easier to eat. If you have some rice with it, now it's even easier to eat. If you have some beans with it, now it's even easier to eat. So try to just, you know, find combinations of stuff that makes things easier. Cheese is a great, like, calorically dense food. Andrew loves fat-free cheese.
I had some the other day for the first time in a long time. It was not, dude. It's fine. It's fine. It's good enough.
This whole podcast, I was having a good time, and you just mentioned that you did that. I just felt like this disgust at you now.
At least I didn't spray. I can't believe it's not butter spray on it to keep it from like turning into plastic, because that is a thing.
Wow.
Also, maybe she could look at the food she's already eating, right? Make sure it's not shitty. If it's like, you know, when I was in the off season, I was eating a lot of red meat.
Yeah.
A lot of bullshit too. I told Mark about earlier. And if you just maybe, you know, change it to a leaner meat or something, you'd be able to get all that food in rather than being stuffed and then trying to get more of it in. You could just change your protein sources here and there.
True.
Vertical diet's great for that. So the bone broth recommendation and the monster mash is awesome. But Stan Efferding's book, or just try to look up, I think Stan did almost an entire version of the vertical diet, which he mentions this to people, but I don't know if they, you know, you can go and support him and you can spend $100, or you can just watch the seminar that he did in Iceland with Hapthor, where he basically explains everything for free.
It's on the Super Training channel. Too.
Yeah, and we also did
It's all
one
on
here-
YouTube.
Yeah, we did one here at Super Training. So you can get all that information. And Stan did a great job explaining to people that you need to have the right nutrition behind you in order to have great workouts.
Yeah.
Really important.
All right.
Calves.
Next question from Jackson Sproul.
Come on, Nsima, join in.
What are you guys doing,
Give us
calves?
some calf races.
Calf Hall of Fame.
All right, let's all
I'll
fucking
do
join in.
seated calf
I'm getting
raises.
the pump. I took Cialis before this.
Oh yeah.
My face is probably red or my lips are bright red.
Yeah, you're
Lips.
quite red.
Yeah,
I thought you were wearing, lipstick there.
No.
But guys, this is a microdose. What we're doing right now, you can do this at your office. You could do this somewhere. You know, you can do your calf raises.
This is like making me feel high.
Yeah, I took too much
Yeah,
kratom.
because you guys are like floating with me. It's fucking strange.
All I want is just for somebody to check into the podcast right now. They just have no idea. They're like, why the fuck are these
We're
guys
sticking
going
our
up and
dicks underneath the desk.
Why are these guys
Warm
fucking
honey
the
pot.
desk?
Warm honey pot. Oh my god! What are the old '70s names for pussy? Like beaver, honey pot.
Yeah, beaver, yeah.
What else is there?
I don't know.
Oh my god, you people and your weird names. Okay, so Jamie Alba. Oh, actually, Jackson Sprout. I recently cut 30 pounds to compete in my first
a
2
pump.
BJJ tournaments next month.
I have a pump.
How do I approach putting a size on at the end of the tournaments without getting too fat and losing all this progress? Okay, so Jackson, I don't know how you cut, but I'm assuming that you cut food a lot. You started doing a lot of cardio. Maybe you've been going to the sauna, so you probably lost a good amount of water weight in that 30 pounds. But I would suggest try not to balloon back after your tournaments and just start eating a bunch of fucking food. Okay, so you really should be paying attention to what you're eating right now so that when you start increasing your food intake, you don't just start eating double that amount of food. That's what most people do. They'll be, I'm about to compete, I'm gonna cut. They cut their food drastically. They don't pay attention how much they are eating because they're so focused on the goal. And then when the goal is achieved, now since they have no goal, they just start eating whatever. They start eating to what they want to what their appetite says. And their appetite's like, eat a fuck ton of food. Then they balloon back, gain 40 pounds, and that's do it again. So try to eat, maybe a little bit more than you were. You can cut the cardio expenditure a bit, but just make sure that your performance is feeling good on the mats. You're not overdoing it in terms of food, and you really have to be mindful. This is one of the things where you got to pay attention because most people, they're like, oh, that's too hard. They don't pay attention. They eat to fill, and then they gain a lot of weight back. You got to be mindful about how much you're eating so that when you start eating more again, you're not going to balloon back up, and just give it time. I would just say too, cutting 30 pounds is a lot of weight. And a lot of people, they like to cut that amount of weight because they want to be the heavier person in the weight class, or they want that. But I would, I have this ultra heavyweight thing, so I'm not going to go to any lower weight class. But I think that you should try to compete where you feel the strongest, not just to where the weight class is, right? So, you might feel better having lost 20 pounds. And if you feel better, truly, you will compete better at that weight. So that would be my suggestion.
I think it's very strenuous. I've coached a lot of people in powerlifting, and they would want to get down to these are like bigger individuals. These are some big dudes, and they would want to get down to a particular weight class when they're going into like their first, second, or third competition. I'm like, you don't have enough experience really for this to make any sense. And the amount of weight that they were losing was pretty excessive. So I would, kind of urge you off of that, to try to drop that amount of weight. I would rather encourage you to feel good and to feel strong. It's one less thing to worry about going into something. If we're just talking about a couple pounds, talking about you manipulating your body weight by just a small percentage, that's not a huge deal. But I've seen many lifters, they, let's say they're going for the 242 weight class and they weigh like 260. They got to lose 10 pounds during their training cycle. And then they also have to figure out a way to dive down to 242 last minute to compete. So you're already at a disadvantage because during your training cycle, you're going to be losing weight. And then you're diving your weight down last second, which shouldn't have that much of a negative impact on you, but it does. And even worse is it has more of a negative impact on you by losing weight when you're in like a training block. So this guy was saying jujitsu. Is that what he's doing?
Jiu-jitsu, yeah.
So I can't even imagine being in jujitsu and being in a caloric deficit just seems like it would be. I don't want to discourage the guy from weight loss if that's like a major goal of his, but I would put one over the other. I would put one over top of the other. I would say my main goal is to lose weight, and I'm going to kind of just weigh what I weigh at this tournament, because if you try to force yourself to weigh lighter than you are now, 30 pounds lighter, like that just seems pretty severe. So I would suggest going more with like 15 pounds. Sounds reasonable within like 10-week period or something like that.
There we go. Anybody else? Or all right. Shoot, I lost my place. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. I'm trying to find the next question.
Well, somebody was asking about Kenny's forearms.
Oh yeah, Kenny, talk about that. You got some fatties.
Thank you. What about them?
How do you grow them, man? What do you do for them?
I like to do dumbbell wrist curls in the morning before I do cardio. So I'll just do not like that. I don't jerk off anymore.
The thing is, I wasn't even thinking that. I just think that that's like pretty cool. Like you do these workouts outside of your gym session. You're like, I do my wrist curls before I go and I do my cardio.
Oh yeah,
like,
I don't. That's what I'm saying. Since I was like super young, I was insecure about anything that looked like it didn't match. Like my neck didn't match my like delts and stuff, so I had to bring that up. So now I just make sure I fucking train everything: tibs, forearms, neck, jaw. Wyatt Films has this gum, like it's gum.
Oh yeah, mastic gum,
and it makes
I have
jaw
mastic
bigger.
gum too. Yeah.
So I'm on top of it. But yeah, in the morning when I hit cardio, I'll do like 4 or 5 sets if I'm feeling great. Maybe like 6 or 7 sets of wrist curls, calves, tibs, abs. Then go do cardio on top of regular arm training.
Okay.
The great thing about Kenny is he just loves it.
Yeah.
He just loves
I write all my, like, obviously I have a program. But as far as like my morning routine, like I write everything out the night before, like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, do the Stairmaster. I'm going to do 4 sets of forearms, 4 sets of calves. I might write in the notes like full range of motion or like drop set. I just get excited about it.
You've been messing around with some full range of motion stuff.
Yeah.
Like more like you're not like, I've never seen you doing like short reps or cheating reps or anything like that, but you're doing like you're exhausting like how much range of motion you can implement into an exercise, right?
Yeah. So yeah,
How's that feeling?
I still follow the program I'm on, but I will mess around with different ranges of motion. Like the other day, just for fun, I went on the Smith machine at this other gym and I almost touched my ass to the ground. So I'm doing like different, that was like at the end of the workout though, like full range push-ups with dumbbells like J House does, where your chest goes like way past where it would normally go on a traditional push-up. Stuff like that. I don't really do it on main movements. I do those like how I know I'm supposed to, stay tight. I don't really go too deep with like the safety bar squats and stuff because I'm going a little heavier, but all my accessories, I've been messing around with full range of motion. I'm way more sore. I feel fuller throughout the week. I'm getting more stretch marks, which is good for me.
Nice.
Yeah, something I noticed with people that have wide backs and wide shoulders is they're really able to do a lot of cool shit with their shoulder. For me, it's like my shoulders are a little bit more stuck, I think, from maybe being like more of a bench presser. So like when we were doing some of the lifts today, we were doing like a bent over row. You were able to really, I guess, like protract your shoulders, relax your shoulders, almost like push your arms like almost away and off of your body. Yeah. And when you did that, your lats went whoop, and went flying out.
Yeah. So I've been enjoying it. I've been listening, even though maybe some would say I've shit on him a couple times in the podcast or just not agreed. I have listened to like 7 Mike Isertel podcasts in the last 2 days. So
he's winning you over?
He's a great man. I like him.
I was gonna ask you, when you're like mapping out your workout for the next day, like what do you do to allot for, or I guess to calculate the time? Like let's say you're gonna have, I don't know, you want to be there for 3 hours, but you're like, shit, I have X, Y, and Z to do. So like, I know it's from experience, but like, how do you advise somebody if they only have like an hour's worth of time? Like, obviously you don't want to write all these workouts and then you get there and you're like, shit, I got through like 3 of them. I fucking failed for the day. Like, how do you do that?
I would say I've been there a couple times, but I would say obviously just weigh some stuff out as you're there. If you get to the gym and you're like, fuck it, I only have an hour because I got to get home, sleep, meal prep and stuff, then I would pick what you're going to get the most out of for that day. So let's say it's like I've done this where I have to hit legs, don't have much time. I got this done like 45 minutes. I did 2 sets. I just did the bread and butter movements and left. So I would warm up maybe with like a lying hamstring curl, do 2 working sets, go on to hack squats, finish with 1 last movement, 2 sets of each, super intense, and then leave. And that I could get that done in like 40 to 45 minutes. Or you could do the main movement like me and Mark have talked about. Just do the main movement. Let's say you have a deadlift day. Do deadlifts for an hour, leave. The next day, do your accessories. Or train twice a day. But for people that are short on time, I would just do the main movement and then finish the rest the next day, or however you want to set that up to get that in. But don't overthink it, because then you're just going to stress out. You're not going to put as much intensity and effort into that session. You could also just say, fuck it, I'm going to cut this in half and then just do the full workout the next week.
One of the most amazing things you can do is just one exercise.
Yeah,
one exercise most likely would probably turn into two anyway, but let's say you go in the gym and you're supposed to train legs and you do a couple sets of leg press. You do like 3 sets and you're like, man, this is feeling really good. Stay there. You know, finish out a couple more sets on there and have that just be the one thing that you did if you're short on time, and get the hell out of there. It can be absolutely amazing sometimes to do it that way.
Yeah, I've done that too. Like a back day, kind of like we were talking about earlier. Just do pull-ups, like maybe like some type of pull down, pull up, pull down, and a row, and I'll leave.
Power Project Family on the podcast, we talk all the time about feeling good habits to make sure that your health is in check. And one of the things that's super important is getting your blood work done, because you could be getting great sleep, you could be having great nutrition, but under the hood, there could be things going on that you don't realize. So it's always good to get your blood work checked so you can totally understand what's going on. Now, the thing is also, when you get your blood work checked, there's so many different things and so many different numbers that it's hard to tell what's good, what's bad, and how do I optimize things. And that's where Merrick Health comes in, because they have patient care coordinators on staff that can help you interpret your blood work and then give you the necessary recommendations as far as supplementation, nutrition, and if you need it, hormone optimization that'll start moving you in the right direction. Andrew, how can they get their hands on it?
Yes, that's over at MerrickHealth.com/powerproject. That's MAREK Health.com/powerproject. At checkout, enter promo code PowerProject to save 10% off the Power Project panel, the Power Project checkup panel, or any individual lab you select. Again, that's at MerrickHealth.com/powerproject. Links in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
Yeah.
All right. Question from Primal Mike. Question. I feel like one of my rib bones is moving or tearing against something when I do sit-ups. Have you ever heard or experienced this? I don't have this sensation during other body movements. So, Mike, actually, this kind of stuff's happened to me. I actually had a light rib tweak recently with jiu-jitsu, and I've had this type of injury before. And what I would suggest that you do is, first off, I think you need to focus on breathing deep and breathing into your diaphragm. And you want to, if you're able to get warm, so whether it's get on an exercise bike, going into a sauna, just get your body warm, get those tissues supple, and then take deep breaths into the diaphragm and try to feel exactly where you're feeling this sensation. Because when you're able to do that, then you can actually start physically rubbing against that area and just trying to you can just get pressure there. That's what I've done for my rib injuries before, and this has been helpful. But the thing is you need to give yourself time with rib injuries because they do take a little bit to recover. But the thing is if you can bring movement to that area and get those tissues moving, they'll be able to heal faster. So that's why breath, and I'm not talking about breathing up here because most people breathe up here and their ribs aren't expanding. So breathing deep into your diaphragm so you have expansion and depression, and then tactile feedback. When you're able to, when you breathe, you'll probably be able to feel where that issue is in the ribs, and you can touch that area, massage it a bit. Along with that, you said that sit-ups hurt, and it makes sense because when you do sit-ups, right, when you crunch down, your ribs are crunching down. So you don't want to totally avoid that type of range of motion, but you definitely want to avoid things that cause too much pain. So I would say maybe see if you can do rotations. Something like a cable rotation with your spine. So you can grab the cable here, rotate with your spine back and forth again so you can get the ribs moving about the spine will be helpful. Something like the dumbbell pullover is an extremely good movement because it'll help you open up, expand your ribs. And when you expand and go in this direction with the dumbbell pullover, take a few seconds, try to breathe into the ribs. Bring as much expansion to your ribs as you possibly can, to your ribs and your diaphragm. Breathe in there, come back down, come back up, come back down. If you do something like this for multiple days, you don't avoid it, but you try to use your breath to bring expansion to that area, go to a sauna, try to sweat, try to get kind of blood to that area. And that's why touching it's going to help. it'll heal faster than if you're not currently doing anything. And if deep sit-ups hurt, don't do deep sit-ups or don't do them fast, but maybe slow down your sit-up and see, okay, that's where it hurts. Let me see if I can move and kind of massage that range of motion, and over time it will probably start feeling a little bit better. On a side note, if you have any access to any type of red light therapy, that can be beneficial. I luckily have a red light therapy device at home, and that's been super helpful with these types of injuries, and I use it every single day. If you don't do all the things that I mentioned before, that should be helpful.
See if you can find someone in your area that can take a look at it too.
Yeah.
You know, make sure it's not something a little bit more serious, but you need a body worker anyway. It's great. It's great to have someone in your back pocket, make you feel really confident. So even when you do kind of really screw something up, you get a tweak in your calf or your knee or something like that, you have someone that you can go to that can help fix you up.
And Nsima, Wyatt Films told me to ask you, how do you like the drink from Chris Williamson?
Oh yeah, the new tonic. It's good. I dig it. I try not to drink it. I don't drink it every single day because I don't like feeling, I guess, dependent on energy drinks or stuff to feel productive. But it's a really good drink. He has good ingredients in here. And it's funny, him and James have done a really good job with branding, because my girl opened my fridge and she's like, oh, is that what is that drink? I was like, oh yeah, it's a productivity drink. And she's like, what? I was like, what do you mean? It's an energy drink. I'm like, I guess it is an energy drink, right? So yeah, it's good stuff though. I dig it. I think it's something worth a shot.
Tastes good. You did a good job with the flavor.
It does taste good. You guys want to take 2-3 more questions?
I'm down.
Let's do it.
Okay. Actually, we might be able to take 4 because I think this one might be fast, but it's from Namatha. And Namatha asks, hey, big PP gang, do you have any advice for loose or saggy skin for someone who has lost 88 plus pounds? Congratulations, Namatha.
Wow. Speaking of big PP gang, I saw a video of Ronnie Coleman, and he had a question about his penis, and he answered it, and he said that he was 15. And I don't know, like, nobody knows what he's talking about.
Like he said, he's 15, like my dick is 15?
That's what he said. And like, it's like, he just like left it at that. Like, I don't know if he means like 15 inches or.
I don't have to.
If Ronnie Coleman had a 15-incher,
I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, but you would also see it on the stage, right?
No, growing, yeah, man. Growing's a real thing. He could just go from like 4 to 15.
Yeah, I wonder, actually, that'd be a good Susan Braxton question. Like, what is the, like,
Extent.
what can you, because you can't make something out of nothing, right? So, like, you know, your dick, I don't think your dick could go from 3 inches to 12.
Man, this squat suit was really, really tight, though.
Maybe it could.
And he could have just wrapped it around his leg, you know, or just like he could have stuffed it in between his legs, you know, so it looked kind of like a. Isn't that fun though? Just stuffing in between and walk around. You guys don't do that? No? Is it only me?
We got to see if
only me.
down.
Okay.
Gotta see if we can find the clip. It was really funny. It was kind of like his body fat comment on Rogan when he was talking about being like
Negative.
He was
0.4%
bullshitting on
or
that
whatever.
podcast.
Yeah. All right, what else you got?
From Keelan McKinney. What are the best exercises to work on side fat? So he probably means his obliques.
Not any exercising, I don't think. I think this shit is cool if you want to like strengthen it, but I don't think you should. Your obliques are gonna get fucking big. Just diet, do vacuums.
Yeah, James Smith has a great video where he says, you know, this is the best exercise for fat loss. And then he throws like a med ball and he's like, do this in a caloric deficit. And then he like shows the next exercise, the next exercise. And his whole point is like, just be in a caloric deficit and that shit will go away.
Yeah.
I think diet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really, diet. That's the biggest one.
I think we all agree. And I think when you are implementing a nutritional protocol, you know, weigh yourself, look in the mirror, maybe take some pictures, get some measurements. You know, like if what you're doing is working and you're self-conscious about the waistline, measure that waistline and see if you can see what you can do with it. See if you can get it to shrink down over a period of time.
Yeah.
I would say too, when it comes to like bodybuilding and bikini sports, I can understand, you know, a lot of these athletes avoid oblique work and rotational type work because that area does hypertrophy. And if all you're thinking about is the balance of your physique, it could off balance your physique. But the thing is if you're someone that's not doing those types of sports, it's not going to balance your physique that much that it's not worth doing, because these people, people in these sports have physical imbalances, have movement imbalances, because all they're thinking about is symmetry. Again, specific for the sport. It's not a problem to just think about symmetry, but if you want to move well for life, do some rotational work, do some oblique work. Yeah, these areas will get a little bit bigger, but your body will work better. Like, it's weird if you're not doing those sports and you have inactive obliques. Just because you're trying to go for a taper type shape. Build a bigger back if you want a tapered shape. But those obliques are they're a big help in helping you be able to handle rotational force. And if you have weak obliques, you're easily pushable. You're a pushover, pretty much.
And you're going to probably tweak your back here and there and stuff like that.
Yeah. So for anyone outside of those sports, that would be my suggestion. Okay. Hey guys. From J5626, any tips for growing hamstrings in a home gym without a machine?
Yes.
I do Romanian, let's go, Kenny. I do Romanian deadlifts, and I built a Nordic curl. You built one, Nordic curl bench, but I'd like to add a little more variety.
Kenny over here writes programs in his sleep. So what you got?
Yeah, I have a long.
He sends me texts all the time, like, "Hey, how about this?" And it's like this awesome combination of exercise. I'm like, that looks sick.
Mm-hmm. So does he have? He has free weights. Does he have dumbbells?
So he has no machines. He does Romanian deadlifts. So I guess maybe he has some dumbbells or a barbell. And he built a Nordic bench. But he'd like to add more variety, so meaning he's willing to add more equipment.
Okay, so I would keep progressing the Romanian deadlifts for sure. You can do, even if it's a barbell or dumbbell, you could do single leg RDLs. Those are great. And I do, because I have a barbell and some dumbbells at my house in my garage. Nordic curls, but you could do I'm pretty sure I saw this on Mike Israel's channel, but put the dumbbell, it's a little bit, you got to make sure you start with lightweight, but you put the dumbbell in between your feet, you lay it on a bench, and you basically curl it. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Like the dumbbell's in between your feet, and then I'm laying on a bench and I'm doing a lying hamstring curl.
Oh, with single leg or double leg?
Double. Because the dumbbell is in
you're just holding the dumbbell with your feet.
Yeah.
And you're curling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you gotta do it super slow and controlled. So I would do light, but I would also recommend when Jesse Burdick was doing our programming, I would do like 200 banded leg curls, seated and lying, and you could just sit on a bench, wrap it around something, and you could superset like your Romanian deadlifts with a seated banded curl, and you'll get a crazy pump.
Let's not forget about step ups, lunges, so you have some other options there too to get into the hammies and glutes too.
Yeah.
And I want to add this in because when people do hamstring work, most of the time when they're doing let's say someone's doing an RDL or they're on a hamstring curl machine, there is going to be one side that's a little bit stronger than the other. And without you realizing it, you will be pushing more on one side than the other. So the solution for this is, you already said you're doing RDLs at home. Do a split stance RDL where you're putting more tension on the front hamstring than the back hamstring. Do the same amount of reps on each side, and this will assure that each hamstring is doing the same amount of work and getting strong in tandem, rather than if you're doing it bilaterally and both at the same time, one hamstring's always going to be doing a little bit more. That's why unilateral work with almost any body part is going to be beneficial, so you can make each side as strong as the other.
And also, it would be a failure on my part if I didn't mention running. Running will do amazing things to your legs, but especially if you do some sprints uphill or do any sort of sprinting, that's going to do a lot for your calves, your hamstrings, and your butt.
You got a caboose, boy.
And sled. Let's not forget about sled. So you might want to get a sled.
Get yourself a sled. The stealth sled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You get yourself,
we have it on our Slingshot page.
Yeah.
mbslingshot.com. markbellslingshot.com.
All right. Quick question from Glenn Sturevant. I have injured my left leg multiple times in multiple ways in jiu-jitsu and have developed some terrible imbalances. Should I just ditch bilateral movement and stick to unilateral? My friend, yeah. I wouldn't say ditch bilateral movement, but I would say that maybe in the beginning of your workouts, do unilateral movements first. So we were just talking about the RDL. Do staggered stance RDLs, right? If you want to do a hamstring movement, you can do those ATG split squats. They're single leg movements. just try to do bilateral work so that, because one leg is going to be a little bit weaker than the other. But the thing is as you slowly work on that leg, you can figure out, okay, what I'm feeling is in my knee here. All right, so maybe I can do a Peterson step up because my knee's feeling weak here on this side, and you can do that on the other side too, and then you can progress that, right? But then over time, that leg that has had all these imbalances will become stronger. The reason why I'm saying this is because I had surgery, I think, in my left knee, meniscus surgery, and that knee was always weaker than my right. But now I can't tell which knee. I had to think about which knee I had surgery, and because it's caught up. Because I did so much unilateral work. So I would suggest, yes, add in unilateral work, and I also have that programmed in Untapped if you'd like to check that out.
Where you can get Untapped?
Untapped is on the ATG app. It's on any app store, Android or iTunes. So download the ATG app. And the cool thing about the program is that you can send in video. There are dedicated coaches on staff where you record whatever video of all the movements that I've programmed in, send in video. Like, don't be lazy. Send in the video of your movement. In 24 hours, you're going to get a response from your coach that's going to tell you how you need to fix doing that movement. And then if you join the program, there's a Discord group where if you have any recovery questions, any questions about regressions, any questions about nutrition, taking care of yourself as an athlete, because being a good athlete is more than just working out in the gym and training. It's about recovering well. You'll be able to ask me all those questions you have in the Discord group.
Again, I would say with this guy too, don't forget about the sled.
Yeah. Do you think there's any I don't know, but is there any correlation to like your lower back strength and hamstring injuries? Because I pulled my right hamstring 3 times, and then
how did you pull it?
Who was this?
I was just
I was like, who the fuck was that? No, I pulled my right hamstring 3 times, and then I was like, all right, well, something's wrong here. I obviously have like some weak area. It's not able to hold what it needs to or do the movement. So I was like, I'm just going to rate my lower back. And I did. Obviously, I rehabbed this on my own, did banded stuff, unilateral stuff, but I really trained my lower back, like good mornings, back extensions. I progressed on like hip hinge movements as I'm rehabbing the hamstring, and then I never had another hamstring injury. So I don't know if I just couldn't. It could have been just a freak thing. I don't know, but
I think if you were to sprint as fast as possible, you'd blow your hamstring out.
No, I mean for lifting though.
Yeah, for lifting you'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but lifting is lifting. Going out and doing this. The reason why I say that is just because the amount of weight that you have on your body, and what your body's like used to in terms of sprinting. Like the last time you did your fastest sprint, you were much lighter. Yeah. So for your body to get used to that, you'd have to go out and run for a handful of weeks before you could probably really, go after it without getting an injury in running.
That makes sense.
This one from Amanda Sereno again. Have you guys used a Ninja Karimi? I've seen a lot of videos of people using it for extra ways to get extra protein in, but also using it as a way to not indulge in bad sweets. Yeah. If you do use it, what recipes do you have? I know you fatties got recipes, so let's go. And we're all fatties, guys. I'm making a joke, but
I would say I'm not a girl, so I don't have recipes. I just like make it.
But the thing is, when you just make it, it still tastes amazing.
I know, and then they're like, "What's the recipe?" It's like there's not really recipes. Like just throw a bunch of shit in there.
Do you have a Ninja Creamy, Kenny?
No, if I'm gonna eat fucking ice cream, I'm doing Ben and Jerry's. I'm going for it.
Oh, he's still in his early 20s.
Bro, I'd rather just eat plain.
He's more disciplined.
Chicken, fish, and asparagus than if I go out of my way to make something that good that's still not what I want it to be. I'll just have my regular meal and then Kenny, I'll cheat when I cheat.
It's really good though.
It is really good.
Let me ask you this. This is the thing about the Ninja Creamy ice cream. Okay, what if you had like a third of Ben and Jerry's in there, and then you had like 3 scoops of protein? And all like the thing is, it tastes fucking amazing. So you can still put Ben and Jerry's in there and have that taste, but you can then have 90 grams of protein in an ice cream, bro.
And the volume too.
The volume's
pretty
way
anabolic.
higher.
Bro, it's so anabolic.
Yeah, all 3 of us have it. We love it. The Ninja Creamy is amazing. As far as recipes go, I pretty much just throw like the full carnivore steak shake. The full carnivore steak shake is really interesting. If you blend it and put it in the fridge, it turns into pudding. If you blend it and put it in the freezer, it kind of turns into ice cream on its own.
Wow.
You might need to put something else in it because I've only done that with just water. But if you did that with any type of milk or any type of cream, it will come out fucking awesome. The Ninja Creamy though, it like whips it together. I found that collagen, so adding some extra Bubs collagen to the whole thing sort of turns it into this like fluffy marshmallowy gum type thing, which is actually super interesting. It's like lighter. I mix it
with the Total Carnivore, did you?
Yeah, the Total Carnivore Steak Shake. Yeah, it's fucking amazing. And then with the collagen, it's like it's weird because you can like chew on the ice cream, but it's so good. It's so amazing. You got to try it. Oh, and then you got to try Banana-tastic, I think it's called.
Is that a new flavor?
No, that should be a new flavor. There's a company, I posted about it. A lot of times when I make a post, people are like, oh, it's just a fucking money grab. I don't get paid for any of these things. I just post them sometimes because they're amazing, because they're delicious. But Banana-tastic makes almost like graham crackers out of green banana. So green banana is a prebiotic fiber. So it virtually has hardly any calories. This stuff is fucking amazing. And if you throw that into your Ninja Creamy ice cream, you're going to feel like you're going to die because it's so good and crunchy. See if you can find it, Andrew.
I'm looking. I can't really find it. I do have an exact
right name, Banana-tastic.
Yeah. Did you recently post it?
It's not too long ago. But if you just search, you probably get to it faster, like on Amazon or something. Or Google.
Well, brethren, while you're looking, did you find it?
No. I was just gonna say I have like an exact recipe for a
Give it to
really,
us.
really good.
Ram it in our
yeah. This is
minds.
like extremely specific. So hopefully this is what you were looking for.
Get your pens ready.
I do 220 grams of Fairlife 1%, or actually, sorry, whole milk. And then I do 220 grams of the 2% milk, 5 grams of vanilla extract, and then I do that on its own. And then on a separate bowl, on the dry ingredients, I do 40 grams of Within You chocolate steak shake, 25 grams of Swerve. It's a like artificial sweetener, 1 gram of xanthan gum, 1 gram of salt. I mix those up, and then I mix those in with the wet ingredients. Put it in the freezer overnight, mix it the next day. It tastes better than a Wendy's Frosty. Like, it's freaking incredible. And I forgot how many actual grams of protein, because that's like almost 2 full servings of steak shake. So that's it's got to be close to like 50 grams of protein, I think, at that point.
Damn.
Plus the Fairlife protein has less fat and more protein, and that shit will, I think that'll solve like obesity in America. Fairlife as a base, no matter what Fairlife you use, whether it's a milk or whether it's the core power protein, that's what I use often for making something in Ninja Creamy, but I'll use that. I will use like either steak shake or the full carnivore shake. I will sometimes use a scoop of collagen. And then from a company called RX Sugar, they make vanilla syrup. They make chocolate syrup.
Oh, yeah.
They make maple syrup. They also make chocolate bars. They're freaking phenomenal.
Those are good.
And what they're finding out about allulose is that, which is in these products, these are allulose-based products, is that allulose will actually lower your blood sugar. So this is something sweet that tastes delicious. It's actually like good for your blood sugar.
Yeah,
So,
if you've ever had a chocolate raisin, that's what those bars taste like.
Freaking great.
And
So
the
good.
brand was Bantastic.
Fantastic.
That Mark just pulled it up. So you can pull it up on Amazon. You can check it out. You guys, I think we can take one more question.
Sounds good.
All right. There is another really good one after this one, but we'll hit Furryman 1113 from Furryman 113. Tips for shin splints. Obviously, tib raises and stuff like that, but I also know rest is huge, but I'm not going to stop running.
Still can't find Bantastic.
Bantastic.
T.
Banastic, huh?
No, I put band like
Bantastic.
like band camp.
Oh,
Fan.
yeah. It's like banana.
Mark, you
Banana
fucking
testing.
running everywhere. What do
Bant.
you think, man?
Fucking hell.
Some myofascial release stuff can really help. So, rubbing out the calves and rubbing out the shins can be really useful.
Jill-
It's also really painful, but
Jill Miller's ball is soft enough where it doesn't hurt the tips for that.
absolutely, yeah. Jill Miller has some balls that you can kind of rest your shin on and kind of dig in there and get the right amount of pressure to get some of that out of there. But shin splints are usually just they're a byproduct of like not being in shape enough for what you're currently trying to do. And people get super offended when I say that. I get super mad. And some people are like, but I run an 8-minute mile or something pace. And you're still trying to go faster or further than what your body's used to, and you just haven't acclimated to that quite yet. So there's kind of like a break-in period. So I think you're mentioning that you don't want to back off of running, but as we brought up in another podcast, don't love something so much that it's to your detriment. Even in a relationship, that's not healthy. Don't love and put so much into somebody that you just become like a babbling idiot, and you can't do shit for yourself anymore, and things like that. So when it comes to running, you might have to take a little bit of break, or just reduce the overall amount of time that you're running. Your heart rate is a huge thing, so do some heart rate training, do some zone 2 training, look at some of the stuff from Mathatone. I think that's important, because that is going to dictate how fast you're doing these runs. And if you do it in a zone 2, it's a real casual, it's supposed to be a real easy paced run. So that shouldn't have any negative impact on your shin splints. And then of course we got shoes.
Yeah.
Get yourself some really good shoes. Vivo Barefoot makes some great shoes. Maybe get some toe spacers. Get your feet out of shoes as often as possible. Maybe run in the sandals that we were recommending earlier, and just try to get your feet to be a little stronger.
Yeah. And Mark, there's one more question I think you might have a lot of really good insight in, and then we're done. We'll have the giveaway, and then we're out of here, guys. So thank you guys for joining today's Q&A. Remember, if you guys win, you got to be the Discord link is in the description. So join Discord, find my @Nsima, add me, send me your email address and your physical address so we can get you your stuff if you manage to win. Last question from Haley Neal. I'm running and lifting 4 to 6 days a week on a ketogenic diet. I've been feeling drained lately, but use the diet to treat ADHD. What would you all suggest?
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, running, doing like a lot of activity on a ketogenic diet where you're basically not eating hardly any carbohydrates at all is it can be problematic at some point. So I would say that you're still going to get a lot of the benefits from a ketogenic diet, even if you start to blend in a little bit of carbohydrate. So my suggestion would be have some carbs maybe the night before your run. That way you get your glycogen stores up a little bit, so you can have some potatoes, maybe a little bit of rice. If all that seems too much of too far away from your diet, you can maybe just have some berries. You'll have better glycemic control with some berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, all those kinds of things. And the next day, maybe have a little bit of carbohydrate, maybe have some honey, something like that. Because just what I've noticed about a ketogenic diet, I love keto diets, and I think they're great. But what I've noticed about them in particular is that the coolest thing is like getting close to ketosis and eating enough carbohydrates to still fuel having really good workouts seems to be like the spot to kind of hang out in. And I think that you'll still get a net benefit from what you're looking for out of the diet. Last suggestion would also be to maybe look into getting some ketones, so just look at like a reputable company and pick up some ketones, whatever ones you think are going to be best for you. There's a ton of different companies out there, so check them out, and that might give you a little extra ketones while you're still ingesting some carbohydrates, and it might help you with your ADHD a little bit more.
I want to add this in since you said you've been feeling drained. The thing is like, if you do feel drained when you're doing something that you really like, it could end up that you've just been doing it too often for a while. And any good athlete knows that there are periods when you've been doing things so much, like Mark said, you don't want to do something that you love so much that you end up doing it to your detriment. So it could be a good idea to lower things for a little bit. Maybe really taper down your runs or taper down something on the workouts, but have a week where things just feel kind of easy, where things feel good. Maybe you're not running during the week, or maybe the runs are much shorter, and maybe the lifts are just pump sessions. You're in and out, get good sleep, because what'll happen is maybe the next week you have that energy back and you're feeling really good, and then you implement a lot of the things that Mark just mentioned and you feel even better. But sometimes it really, like, you can't be going every day as an athlete. You got to back off sometimes so that you can recover and continue on and progressing, because sometimes it'll be injury that takes you out of the battle, not be because you haven't backed off. So that could be something you need to do.
I only train hard twice a day, maybe once a week, and I try to avoid it whenever possible. But sometimes it just happens. Sometimes I got to get the opportunity to lift with this monster over here, so I take that opportunity, and then maybe later in the day I run. But try not to have double workouts too often. Might wipe you out too.
All right, guys. So Mark's going to pick out 5 names from this. Remember, join the Discord. And we're going to give away some stuff from Viore Within You Vivo Rice and Grind, which is stuff that Kenny likes to eat. Kenny can explain some stuff about
I had
rice
some
and
this
grind.
morning. It was delicious.
Yeah,
good.
rice and grinds is just basically like cream of rice with less iron and way better flavors. They have a ton of flavors. They also make Rice Krispie bars and almond butter.
They make bars?
Yeah.
They make
I didn't know
butters.
that.
They're always sold out, but they make Rice Krispie bars, yeah.
Okay.
Damn. Rice Krispie bars? They have like protein in them?
I think so. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Do you
the
have any
almond
with
butter.
you?
What
No.
what flavor of rice and grinds
Have
do you
any
think is
on you?
best to
Yeah,
try
check
first? Because they have a lot of flavors. So what do you suggest first?
I like the maple one
was
a
gonna
lot, and
say
I had
maple.
the peanut butter one this morning, and I threw PB2 in there. And Andrew, I know you would like that.
There's a peanut butter one.
I like the
peanut butter cream.
You fuckers just
Brown-
left me taco.
What?
brown what's
The
it
taco's
called?
good.
It's
Brown
good.
No,
sugar?
brown sugar, cinnamon, whatever. Or the big ass tub we have in Graham Tuttle's office, blueberry muffin.
Oh, I haven't tried that one, but
I
man,
need to bring in
maple's
like
good.
a bag or something to get that out of.
Just put your hand in there and just scoop it out with your palm after a workout.
Okay, our first winner was Primal Mike. You're going to win a gift card to Viore Clothing. And our second winner was Keelan McKinney. So, both of you guys, Primal, you're on a fucking Discord. So hit me up on Discord. Send me your address. Send me your email address. Keelan McKinley. Send me your address. Send me your email address. Third winner, Glenn Sturdivant. You're going to win a pair of Vivo Barefoot shoes of your choice. Send me your address. Send me your email address on Discord. Discord link is in the description. Add me at Nsima, and we'll get you your stuff. All right, Mark, could you pick another name?
Oh, yeah.
We got 5 winners. Glenn Stud.
Hey, Kenny Williams, I got a question for you.
Yep.
Are you into or have you been into video games?
Yeah.
What you got?
Well, I do like video games. I haven't been playing them lately.
What kind of games?
Call of Duty, GTA, Fortnite.
That new one.
Oh,
But
you're a
I-
Fortnite guy?
I haven't played in a while though. Like
Okay.
I haven't played in a while.
Is the new GTA out yet?
No, not
gonna be
for
a while.
Not for it's like 2025, but they
Wasn't it like
announced
most
That's-
expensive
Yeah.
entertainment thing ever? Like, period? Did
I'm
anyone's
not
ever
sure.
shot or something?
I just know that they're like want to charge differently for it. It's going to be like expensive, and you can't just like buy it once,
It's
Oh,
gonna
they're
be
gonna like
a
update it
like
or
a
something?
subscription type thing.
Mm.
I could be wrong. Hopefully, they did change it.
That's when my video game career will start back up. Is when that comes out.
All right, next winner, JS626. You're going to win some rice and grind. So add me on Discord,
That's cool.
okay? And then send me your address and email address. Mark, can you pick 2 more names? Because we have 5 winners, but if one of these people don't get to me, then it's going to follow up to somebody else.
What did you grow up doing, Kenny? Did you? I know you played baseball.
Yep.
Was you or your family into like motorcycles or camping or anything like that?
We've been camping,
Fishing, hunting.
fishing, hunting. My dad's side is big on fishing and hunting.
I've been fishing, but I've never been hunting before.
I've been hunting when I was little. Yeah, I used to wake up, but I mean, even my whole family is just baseball. Like my dad,
Everybody loves
played-
baseball.
Yeah, my dad and grandpa both played at a super high level, so that's all I really did.
Your brother plays, right?
Yeah, my brother just got a full ride to UC Davis to play shortstop.
Whoa,
Sick.
that's
Jeez.
freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right, and number 6, this is you're a fill-in, Jackson, but realize if nobody takes their winnings, you're going to get one of these things. So Jackson Sproul,
Half winner.
go on Discord. You're a half winner, so
It's all right.
you know, if one of these guys don't come take their winnings within the next week, you're gonna win something.
Some people made a career out of being like an Olympian alternate. So
True.
yeah, he's on his way too.
TRUU. Guys, thanks for being a part of this live. We're gonna be trying to go live every Thursday at 11.
Yeah, hit that bell notification so you don't miss it.
Hang out, ask some questions. We're here to help you out, and we love your support.
Give us a tip before we get out of here. How about let's talk about how to get big. How can somebody listening just turn it around and get jacked and swole?
Prioritize your sleep, train hard, don't be in the gym for too long. So just maybe like shorten your workouts, up the intensity, get quality meals that digest well and are high in protein in, and just sleep and be consistent. It doesn't matter if you're not consistent, it's not going to work. So that's the biggest piece of advice.
And follow anabolic activities.
Yeah, follow anabolic activities. Thank you.
All right, strength is never weakness, weakness never strength. Catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
If you guys enjoyed this live where we answered a bunch of your questions, well, you might like this episode where we talk about proven principles for faster muscle gain. Lots of things that are going to help you build that muscle faster. Check it out.